We pack up the gear and hit the road for this episode of the Paw Report. And on this episode, it's not about the paws, but the hooves. People come from all across the country to visit this special ranch in Champaign County that features some festive and furry creatures.
The Paw Report on WEIU is supported by Rural King, America's farm and home store, livestock feed, farm equipment, pet supplies, and more. You can find your store and more information regarding Rural King at ruralking.com.
Dave's Decorating Center is a proud supporter of the Paw Report on WEIU. Dave's Decorating Center features the Mohawk Smart Strand Silk Forever Clean Carpet. Dave's Decorating Center, authorized Mohawk Color Center in Charleston.
Boy, do we have a treat for you today. The Paw Report crew is on the road and we've traveled to the North Pole. No, we've not traveled to the North Pole. We are in Rantoul, Illinois at Hardy's Reindeer Ranch, a first for the Paw Report, and what a place this is. And Julie Hardy is joining us as our special guest. Thank you to Julie and her husband for inviting us to the ranch and to see your beautiful herd.
Well, you're
welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I'm delighted to have you here, and especially this time of the year where you can see the new babies here, and that's a special treat for most anybody, for sure.
How did this ranch get started?
So, I have a little bit of a marketing background and married this wonderful farmer with a Christmas tree farm. And so we put marketing with Christmas trees and went to Alaska, put them on an airplane, and flew them in Delta Airlines. So reindeer do fly.
They do fly.
True story, they do fly.
So have you always loved reindeer? Or how did, I mean, I know the marketing, you know, the Christmas trees, and that was a natural fit, but I know you've grown to love them, but have you always loved them? And how did you learn to care for and raise the reindeer?
Well, I've got a secret I've got to admit to you. I really thought reindeer were fictional myself. I really did. I didn't know that they existed myself when I found out that they do exist, that they are domesticated caribou, and they actually do make a very good farm pet. They're domesticated animals. So I got really excited, went to visit a herd of them. First time I saw a reindeer, it was love at first sight, and they do have the most awesome personalities, the most beautiful faces, and the most beautiful eyes. So kind of fell in love with the breed, and then long venture learning how to raise them here on a farm in the middle of central Illinois.
And we're gonna get into all of that coming up. And you know, they are sweet. They just hang out. They've come up. They've, you know, sniffed us and sniffed around. But you have a big part in training them. We're going to talk about that too. But what's the average day like here on the farm? There's so much. I know when our crew pulled in, I mean, I think all of our eyes kind of lit up like, wow, we didn't know all this was here.
Well, it is a big property. There's a lot going on here. And besides, the reindeer themselves is a certain job in itself. And this time of the year with the reindeer is a very time consuming with calving going on. We are on high alert all the time, just making sure all the mamas and babies are doing fine, and all the ones that are expecting are doing fine too. So my husband will be up until midnight. I'm up early in the morning just checking the herd, making sure that we're not needed to assist or to make sure everything's going fine. But the rest of the property, we have acres to mow and manicure. My husband loves the landscape. So as you looked around, Kelly, you can see the flowers, the trees here. It's just like a beautiful park setting, really, the reindeer ranch is.
It is. And it goes till late at night, I'm sure. I mean, it's a 24/7 operation.
Sometimes, some days, yes. Some days that we could be out here till late at night with a reindeer, and sometimes they're easier to take care of. So it depends on the season for sure.
Absolutely. You mentioned being of the caribou species. I was going to ask, are reindeer and caribou of the same species? So they're not.
Caribou are a little bit larger than a reindeer. A reindeer is a domesticated caribou.
Okay.
A caribou is a wild reindeer. So a little bit different, but they are so similar they can actually interbreed together. So they have what you call a baby rainbow. If they get on the tundra and they breed together, they're very closely related.
Now,
So very similar in a lot of ways.
do the males and females, do they both have
Antlers.
antlers?
Yes. Both the males and the females have antlers, and so this is the time of year that they've shed their old ones, starting to grow new ones. They drop them every year and get bigger every year. Now, a male reindeer can grow a 6-foot set of antlers in only 3 months' time. That's amazing. That's bone that grows in 3 months. So it's really incredible how fast they grow. So your males will really get the biggest antlers, which makes them the boss.
Like Blitzen here, right? Is this Blitzen?
This is Blitzen, and he's not done. If you come back and look at him like Christmas time, you won't believe what's
Blitzen.
on top of his head. He's working on a big set right now, aren't you, Blitzen?
And this is his too.
This is his antler that he lost last year, and just starting to grow a new one, and they get bigger every year. So you're going to be a big boy this year, aren't you, Blitzen?
So this isn't as big as you said that they could get.
Oh, it's going to get a lot bigger than that. Yes. So he's working on it, but
Wow.
takes 3 months to grow, which is pretty incredible. But what's neat is that males will have the big antlers, so that makes them the boss right now, or dominant right now. At the end of the year, the males drop their antlers. They're not the boss anymore. It's like payback time. All the girls get even with them. So it's really funny that way. But females don't shed their antlers until they have their babies in the spring. It allows the females the best grazing rights, like during the last couple months of gestation. So think about where they come from. It's frozen tundra. You know, that's a little bit harder to find food for them on frozen tundra. The fact that the females still have their antlers provides them better grazing. So it's a purpose for that, for sure.
I was going to say, you know, obviously you have a herd here at Hardee's, but reindeer aren't from the Midwest or, you know, here in Illinois. They're home to Alaska. Is that kind of their foundation?
They didn't. We flew them in from Alaska, and there are a lot of reindeer in Alaska, but they did not originate in Alaska. They brought them into Alaska from Russia, Finland, Lapland because of the gold rush. So when the gold rush happened, there were so many people, not enough food supply to go around, and to this day, this really is the cow of the North. These are my pets here in Illinois, of course. But
So they do call the North Pole home.
they do,
I guess,
yes.
sort of.
They would call the North Pole home, I suppose.
And they do like cold, snowy, blizzardy weather, correct? That's their thing.
It is their thing. So last Christmas, remember we had that very, very cold winter vortex. It was like 50 degrees below zero. Most livestock couldn't even tolerate. They wouldn't even go in a barn. They're just like, bring it on. I can handle whatever. You know, they're reindeer. They love the snow. And so it truly is very magical because they work to predict a snowstorm for me. So about an hour to an hour and a half before you get the first snowfall of the year. And when I say this is magical, you'll only see it maybe once or twice a year. They know snow is coming before I do, and they get all excited. They start leaping and prancing and dancing. Looks like they're going to take flight. Yes, you can really fly when it snows, can't you, Blitzen?
So last December, you looked out and you obviously saw them doing something.
They were all leaping and running and twisting and I thought, what are they doing? You know, it's not snowing. And about an hour later, we caught it on video. It started snowing, and they were just so excited because they knew it was coming. Just that they act like little children playing in the snow. I love snow, Kelly. I don't know about you, but I'm a snow lover. You know?
I love snow too.
But it's kind of fun to watch them react to it. It's really neat to see.
So
very magical.
That's right,
Yes.
just like all of them. So what about the summer heat? You know, if they love snow, they love cold weather. We get some pretty hot summers in Illinois. Is there anything in particular that you have to do, or
very commonly asked questions? Reindeer from the North Pole, how they handle the heat. Right now, they're shedding last year's winter coat, so they look a little woolly right now. All that winter fur is coming off, and they do look a lot different. Their summer coat is about the color of their legs, their muzzle, real short, dark brown fur. They pant to cool themselves like a dog. They can acclimate okay to a normal Illinois summer as long as we have shade and fans. So we have this great big barn back there with very powerful fans in it. And in the heat of the summertime, they just stay in the barn all day with the fans blowing on them. And they can handle it just fine. They will get hot in Alaska sometimes. They just may not have the humidity that we have sometimes, but they handle it just fine as long as we have lots of fans for them.
We're going to talk about some characteristics, you know, and that kind of leads me into the next question, and I hope your mic picked it up. But when Blitzen kind of left our area and walked around to go get a drink, there was a clicking sound. Is that common? Is that a trait or a characteristic of the
It
reindeer?
makes our reindeer tour so fun for children and for adults, because I'll say, listen, you got to listen when they walk, because when you get a whole herd of them together, it's really noisy. There are tendons in their ankles that rub together and pop and click when they walk, and caribou and reindeer are the only ones that do that. And of course, it's always really fun to say, well, you know the song, up on the housetop, click, click, click. It goes with that story, but there is a really neat purpose for that. When they give birth, they're migrating. So if one gets lost from the herd in a blizzard, they will listen for that sound of that clicking to find the herd again, which truly is really a pretty neat, the reason that works that way.
Are they social? Some other characteristics. What do they eat? What's their temperament like? How big do they get?
That's a lot. Let's say so. Are they social? Some are more friendly than others. So I guess it would be like some pets, and their friendliness is kind of associated with how much time we spend with them. When these babies are born, I spend a lot of time just sitting in the pasture. It's one of my joys in life, just sitting out here with the babies, or sitting out here with them, and being out in the pen with them, because they like it when I sing to them. Every one of them has their own song. I think they do. I won't start singing for you here, but they do. They respond so much to the attention, and so some will be a little bit more shy. But yes, very social animals, and boy, they know when that tour gate opens up, and they know when I have some treats for them. They come running. So they respond well to people.
Well, you said treats. What do they eat? They obviously like treats, and you're going to show us that in a little bit.
They do get their special treats, just like any animal, or all of us adults. We should only have so many cookies, right? Mm-hmm. So we have special treats that we give people on the reindeer tours, but their diet. So these are ruminants, but they're cousins of a caribou. They're not commonly raised in the lower 48 states, so we've kind of pioneered learning how to raise them here on a Midwest farm.
Right.
Up in Alaska, their diet would be moss and lichens. That's what they would eat on the tundra. I don't have moss and lichens for them here. Mm-hmm. So we've done a lot of research with Alaska, with the very few other reindeer breeders in the lower 48 states, because there's not many of us that do this, to formulate a diet that will work for reindeer here. So they have to have like 80% fiber in their diet, a very good alfalfa hay. We have a very special grain mixture and feed program that we've developed over the years that is working for us. And it's taken some balance to get it all right, how to get their feed program right and everything for them.
How big do they get? You have a baby. We're filming obviously in May.
Yes.
And you just had a baby, Wednesday, 5 days ago?
Yes, these babies are so tiny when they're born.
They are.
And
But
their
they come
legs
out
are ridiculous. Yes, they come up running, and they have to be standing that first day. And so that's where calving season is just really a little exhausting for us, because we have to make sure that calf is standing, is nursing, is getting mama's milk that first day. Babies, when they're born, range anywhere from 8 to 12 pounds. So my first baby this year, I think, was a 13-pounder, was huge, and my second baby was on the bottom end of that, a little bit smaller, but they're both doing wonderful, so we're so excited about it. Your males will grow to be around 350 pounds, and our females probably around 250 pounds, somewhere in there.
They're big, but they're gentle.
They are.
Other special features, the fat beneath their skin, is that?
Keeps them warm in the wintertime, and then they because where they come from, the North Pole, it'll be dark all day sometimes, but they have like this certain ultraviolet vision where they can see at night, and so they don't need light at night. They can see in the dark just fine.
What about their fur and their feet? There's that clicking. They're
clicking
walking
sound
by us, and we can hear.
Speaking of their feet, if we'll look at their hooves too, like white-tailed deer have little bitty hooves. Reindeer have tremendously big feet. Those do make very good snowshoes. Now we have a 6-foot fence here, like a white-tailed deer would clear this. These guys are not related to a white-tailed deer at all. So again, we are at the North Pole. These are reindeer, and a lot of people think that they don't exist, but they're domesticated. They really don't jump that high necessarily. We had a snowstorm once, though, that built a snowdrift up to the top of that fence. The whole herd walked up and out. They went. They have snowshoes for feet.
Wow.
So I got my special reindeer treats out and walked them back in the pen.
Do they really have red noses? I had to ask the question,
okay, you got to
right?
come back at Christmas Eve, and then you'll find out.
That's right. That's right.
I got some white-nosed reindeer right now, but we have some of our reindeer in our herd are pintos, and so a little bit different. They have a white genetic gene that causes them to be a little bit different coloring on them, little different spots on them.
Any special care? You mentioned, you have big fans in the barn, but anything that you specifically have to do to acclimate them here in Illinois?
As far as acclimate, yes, because there was not a science to their health care necessarily. When we got here, we knew some things. Formulating that feed program was one of the hugest things, but reindeer will get West Nile virus, which is something that horses will get. They do get some cattle diseases. They don't carry all whitetail diseases. So again, very specific within their own breed to figure out how to care for them. We have a handling facility and a squeeze chute. Once a year we run them through, give them all their shots, their vaccinations, and a pedicure.
Oh, don't we all need pedicures?
They have to get a pedicure. Have to clip those big hooves back that we blitzen.
So how do you acclimate them to people? Obviously, I mean, they come up and that's a big part of what you do here. You have thousands of people. You have tour buses that come in, and you've got to make sure that the reindeer just, that they like us. You're inquisitive.
He has the most outrageous personality of all. You asked if they have
waiting for a
personalities.
cookie?
This is Blitzen, and he is the goofiest of all. We should have named him Goofy. It would be a good name for him. He's just got amazing personality, and you're showing off now, aren't you, Blitzen?
Yes, you're showing off.
Again, some are
But
more.
you get in the pen and you play with them and you sing
I
to
sit.
them.
I spend time with them, and there's some of them are more friendly than others. But I think it's from the first day they're born. They know me. They know my touch. They bond with me. They bond with me. They bond with they bond with us, and they trust us with their care. Like some of the animals, if every once in a while, if we have one that gets their antlers stuck, which doesn't happen very often, if they get stuck in a fence, those big antlers, they're stuck somewhere, and they know they need help, they'll just stand there, it's like, help me, I'm stuck. Even if it's some of my ones that aren't as friendly, they know that I'm there to help them, no matter what. So.
And they give kisses back. So they do give reindeer kisses.
They do give you all the love back. Oh yes, they do. Hey, Blitzen.
So
So
you're
it's
going
kind of-
to show us you're going to show us a reindeer kiss here in just a minute. But there's some other surprising facts about reindeer too. They don't fly, of course, but they do swim.
They do swim with, and their winter coat is a hollow insulated fur, so it keeps them warm, obviously, but it makes them buoyant in the water as well because of that hollow insulated fur. But their big feet are paddles, so so they are good swimmers. I don't have any ponds here for them, but they could swim very well if they wanted to.
And they see ultraviolet light.
Yeah, they don't need any light at night because where they come from, it's dark half year round, so they do just fine in the dark.
What is it about these beautiful animals that gives you the most joy? I mean, just meeting you and seeing you, you light up when you talk about them. And I know it's been your life for years, and you've raised your children around the reindeer and your grandchildren. But what gives you the most joy?
I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would grow up and do something like this or get the opportunity to do something like this, and I just feel what an honor that I get to care for these animals, and we do take it very seriously. We want to provide for them. We want to do it right. We want to provide, as you can see around you, so much pasture, so much fence, so they have a natural area for them to graze, to where they feel like if they want to go do a reindeer dance and they want to run and dance, they've got plenty of room to graze, run, dance. But also at the same time that I have them friendly enough that they will come up to you and say hi and give you a kiss for a cookie if they've learned to trust me, and that they've learned to trust me with their care. That is just the neatest thing. And so I look into their face and I see that trust in their face, and it's a pretty cool feeling. It's really neat.
It's a job, but not really a job. I mean, I know it's a job to run this farm and this ranch, but it's not a job when you love it as much as you do. And that's very, very obvious. You must have loads and loads of memories and favorite stories and things maybe that you've witnessed personally, or when the tours come in or kids come in. Can you share with us a couple of those that might just come to mind?
It could go all over. It surprises you here because you think everybody thinks the reindeer ranch is for kids, and some children are like, yeah, no big deal, Santa's reindeer, they've seen him, and some kids really get into it. Oh, it's amazing to watch the kids. Are these Santa's reindeer, and are they going to fly at Christmas Eve? So it's all over the board with the kids. They could be anywhere with them. Some are a little bit are surprised at how friendly they are, and some are just wanting to kiss them all the time. But it amazes me, the adults with the reindeer. how many adults will get here and say, "Oh, I've got reindeer in my backyard," or they're fictional, or they don't exist, and then I get to, this is part of, when you come to the Reindeer Ranch for a reindeer experience tour, you're going to get an education about, this is how we raise them here. This is what they are. That we tell people what they are, just so they can become familiar with what we do, what our job is here. It's not just kissing a reindeer, and yes, you do get to enjoy them, but we want people to understand, what's involved with raising a reindeer and how much we care for them, and all there is to know about reindeer. So we really work hard to educate the public as well about them.
Any funny things that people have said, kids, they say the funniest things, and you mentioned, are these really Santa's reindeer? I can only imagine that there's been so many cute things that have been, even your grandkids probably. I mean, how cool is it that your grandkids get to live and come out to a ranch with reindeer?
It's just like, are they going to fly at Christmas time, or do they fly, and are these Santa's reindeer? And I think they expect them to have the red nose, They want to see the Rudolph, So I don't think that they think, well, they don't really look like Rudolph, but they are reindeer. So we get some senior groups in here, and we'll get some senior people that'll think, oh, I don't want to kiss, because I keep telling them, you got to kiss a reindeer because it'll make a really good Christmas card picture for you. You got to kiss a reindeer, because
right.
I love to do it, and they have the softest noses.
And they do it?
And most of them do it, and you'll get somebody, oh, I'm not going to kiss a reindeer, and then she'll get there, oh, can I have another cookie? And then she gets so excited about it, she wants to do it again. So
yes, absolutely.
I think it is, when I say they're magical, that's not only the clicking, not only the reindeer dance, but when I say they're magical, I think the effect that they have on people, I like to think is magical, because people just light up when they see them. There's just something about how entertaining, how peaceful they are, or how pretty they are.
Well, you got to believe that some of the people that come to visit the ranch are a little skeptical, like, oh, right,
yeah,
they don't have reindeer.
Right.
And then when you actually see them, I could say that for our crew. I mean, when we pulled up and the way that we parked, we saw the pen, and it was like, wow, who gets to see reindeer? I mean, it's just a neat thing. What else can you tell us? Maybe something that the average person doesn't know about the ranch here and the reindeer.
Let's see. Well, it's just, again, the personal experience that you're going to get when you get here, and some people think it's one thing just to look at the reindeer, but the way our staff educates people about the reindeer, and to get up close and personal, because you may see one at a zoo somewhere, you may get to see a reindeer at a zoo somewhere, but I say there's an up close and personal experience that you get here that you probably won't find anywhere else. To really to get to know that animal, and everybody that comes here, Kelly, will get their favorite. They want to come back and see Comet. If Comet's somebody's favorite reindeer, or Princess somebody's favorite reindeer, and they won't believe, oh, I can't believe how big his antlers got this year from last year. So everybody will pick out their favorite,
and
when
they're
they
all
come
named,
here. Yes,
right?
They all have names, and it's like, well, we have 22 right now, and I'm trying to think, okay, this one's that, Cupid, and all the different names that we come up with for them.
Very cute. Going back to future plans for the ranch, I mean, is there anything that you look forward to, or anything that you plan on expanding or doing?
We have two different seasons here that we do, fall and Christmas. And fall is with our corn mazes is a very, very busy season. So expansion-wise, I'm not really sure right now, but in the fall is a really good time to visit. With the corn mazes, 10 acres, we have so many activities: the hayride, the pedal race carts, the paintball gallery. We have a banquet hall that looks like a Wild West saloon, and it's for private parties or bus tours that come through, group reservation. So we're just keep as busy as we want to, and our main focus is caring for these animals and then entertaining the people that we have that come out right now.
And Christmas is also a very busy time.
Christmas is very busy, and so for folks that I know magical to want to see the reindeer at Christmas time, weekdays are a nice time to visit. Weekends you may have to wait a little bit, but we think it's an enjoyable wait anyway. So.
Does Santa even come to your house? Does he have time? You're so busy on the holidays.
Yeah, Santa gets a late arrival at my place. We're too busy here for a while.
Julie said no pictures at Christmas time of
too
Grandma.
Tired. Yeah, no
Too
pictures
tired.
of Grandma at Christmas. I'm too tired.
Well, this has been just a marvelous interview. Thank you for inviting the Paw Report crew to come to your
my
beautiful
pleasure.
ranch and to meet. And here in, the cameras are going to be off, but here in just a minute, we're going to kiss some reindeer. I have to tell my friends and family that I've kissed a reindeer, so I'm gonna do it.
Good deal.
But Julie, thank you so much for bringing us to the farm, and Mark, your husband, is running around as well, and we want to thank him for allowing us to bring our cameras and crew to your beautiful ranch. So thank you
My
for joining
pleasure.
the Paw Report.
My pleasure.
And Merry Christmas, right?
Merry Christmas. I say it this time of year. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
One and all.
And that wraps up this Paw Report on the road in Rantoul, Illinois at the Hardee's Reindeer Ranch. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Dave's Decorating Center is a proud supporter of the Paw Report on WEIU. Dave's Decorating Center features the Mohawk Smart Strand Silk Forever Clean Carpet. Dave's Decorating Center, authorized Mohawk Color Center in Charleston.
The Paw Report on WEIU is supported by Rural King, America's farm and home store, livestock feed, farm equipment, pet supplies, and more. You can find your store and more information regarding Rural King at ruralking.com.